All right. Okay, guys. So we're going to get started. We're a couple minutes after the hour, and good evening and welcome to the Truth Tribe. I'm Dawn Thompson. Thank you for being here. You remember that you are all perfect, exactly where you are in this now moment, and that there is nothing wrong with you, and you are perfect, and I love you. Now, I want to begin tonight with an understanding of when I say I love you and you are perfect. I do love you, but the perfect part, right? I mean it. I don't care when people tell me like how they're evolving and getting into the universe and what they've done. And you know, I've done so much training and events and seminars and retreats, and I get it. There's a lot to learn, right? But I want to share with you tonight, when I tell you how perfect you are, and I say that you are, I mean it. Why do I say that? Because I don't care how many retreats you've attended, giving you spiritual enlightenment, or you have 50,000 followers on your eating channel, on your special salad, or you're an astral traveler, or you use psychedelics to take journeys, or you're a vegan and you have the perfect diet and everybody needs to do this, and or how deeply you meditate, or even where I come from, right? What planets are falling into your 12th or 8th or 4th houses, right? Giving you excuses to be crazy and ignorant, okay? I love you because you're human and you came here to warrior your ass off out of the experiences that do not serve your truth. That's why you came here, okay? And so can you say, when you walk into this world every single day, no matter how crappy my day is, I lived my purpose with one human or 5 humans or 50 humans, doesn't matter, right? I was their lighthouse, and nothing outside of you, any of you on this call, can heal or help anyone but you, right? And that's hard for people because we want someone else to save us. And so the planets, when I bring them up, they only offer patterns of energy you can use to your advantage or not, right? It's always to your advantage or not to your advantage, one or the other. So it's why I termed tonight's call, why am I so irritated, right? Why am I irritated with others? So first and foremost, up in the sky, Uranus actually is one of those planets that are kind of getting us, well, there's a lot going on, and I'll talk about it in the planetary update, right? But Uranus is calling all of us on the planet right now to face whatever it is inside of you that you have not faced. It is the truth teller. I told you guys this for 2 years. Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. Now Uranus pops up and says, oh, let's make sure they're actually listening. Okay. And so Uranus pops up and says, hey, you know, are you facing whatever is inside of you personally or collectively? We can look outside of ourselves and go, that's not what I want. I want that. Oh, they did this to me. It's their fault. It's because I can't find this. It's because I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy enough, whatever. Okay. And all Uranus is doing in the universe right now is giving you clarity and insight, because it is a sign of truth, and only truth that is specifically for you is what's being revealed for you, right? And so that planet Uranus, that's what's going on in the sky. You guys can feel this Aquarian pressure. And it's in Taurus, and it's in the sign of earth and food and beauty and building, okay? Building things. And so I want you guys to start the night with, okay, it doesn't matter what I do out there. Those are just fulfilling, fun, exciting things that I'm interested in. And I find them to be interesting information to learn, okay, to feed me. But that's not why I'm here. And so Taurus is all about, excuse me, building. So what will you feed yourself or build for yourself energetically, emotionally, physically, spiritually, to build a stronger foundation for yourself that is more loving and more beautiful, instead of the old that's been coming up of Scorpio South Node energy of darkness that you've been hiding from. Okay. And so many of you right now, this has been the last 2 weeks, it's been like blowing up my phone. You guys can comment in the chat if so, but so many of you are feeling and experiencing irritation and anger. Okay. And it's not a negative, it's to shift you, not in the sense that it's like debilitating for you, but in the sense of like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? Like, why is this back? Why am I not overriding it? It's from that perspective. Old crap is frustrating and surfacing to make its appearance in a way that you possibly get mad and you say no more, right? No, not no to others, but well, and maybe no to others sometimes, right? But more like no to yourself for blaming or using or expecting others to show up to make your life better. Okay. See, this is a really funny comment. Thank you for sharing this. Someone just said, yes, just frustrating at not having what I want, right? So I'm going to get into that. Thank you for sharing, because she's right on the mark of everyone coming at me with that, right? So my point is that no one's coming to save you, okay? This is the part that's pissing you off, because we want help, right? We want support, and no one is going to come. You are in charge of your life, and you must take steps to make that happen. Now, people are asking, well, what? By staying programmed in this instant gratification, which she just commented on, of not having what I want now, right? So when we don't realize we're still programmed in that instant gratification pill population, or we have that option of that instant gratification or the rise above, and observing all that no longer serves you. You know what doesn't serve you. So sometimes it's slow, methodical healing, and it's frustrating until you not acknowledge what is really needed. And a lot of times we don't want what's needed. We want what we want, her comment. So it's perfect. And it's not uncommon. I've been hearing that all week. So what's funny that I think about this energy that's coming in is emotional healing of thousands of years for a lot of us, right? Genetics, epigenetics, generational, of emotional healing and emotional numbing that has taken place, right, is going to take time to heal, right? And the reason I say that is we understand that, like, you're so impatient and angry for not getting where you want to be, right? But here's another way to look at your life. If you broke your leg, and it even so broken so bad that you required surgery and maybe had to get pins or something, and you had wounds that were visual, and you were the doctor, and you would tell the patient, well, your body will need a bit of time to heal to be able to walk again, right? But you'll get there. You, as the patient, if you were telling the doctor that, you would believe that the patient would understand it would just take time. And the patient would go, okay, well, this sucks, I can't walk, but they said I could. It would just take time. Yet when we look at emotional healing, it's not given the same respect. All right. It has the most punch for its investment, yet we avoid emotional healing. So I'm bringing this up because that's what's coming up, right? Once you learn where your emotional poverty has been brewing, you have the power to dump it for good and cook up your new badass warrior self. All right. And yet, even as I share this, like during, I think probably for the last several years, I've shared this, right? During the greatest emotional and spiritual poverty in history, it's being visually shown to you. Many will say, I'm fine. I did the work one. I can't afford it, or I'm just not interested, or that's not what I want to learn. I want this. I'm like, okay, but this would be actually revealing, right? It didn't work. I'm over it. If it's repeating, you guys, okay, and it's irritating you, it's not healed and it needs more attention, period. Okay. So I totally get it. I've been healing too, and I totally understand it completely. Okay. I'm not exempt from it, nor are you or anyone on this planet. You all came here for a reason. And I just want you to understand that when you ask for solutions, you have to be so vulnerable and so willing and so ready to do something that you've never done. And most aren't. And when I'm asking, or I'm talking with clients and I'm asked from them, I need a solution. right? And I say, okay, well, you have to make a complete radical change in your spiritual and emotional poverty. Your emotions are very easy to see in past lives as they repeat into this life. Okay. I can look at your chart. So we've talked about this all the time. You don't have to use a chart. I can look at where you get tripped up the most and what part of your life and what upsets you the most and the feeling it gives you. So understanding your moon, which is emotions, and your north and south node, which is the past and your purpose, right? It's very easy for you guys to see where you are spiritually and emotionally fighting a better life, but you'll go do the things that actually are easy for you. And it's completely understandable when you say, I want a solution. I want something that will make it better, right? Unfortunately, until you're ready to completely take a radical change of your spiritual and emotional poverty that you brought in with you on this blueprint, okay, you're going to keep recycling old karmic bullshit. This is not a life sentence. It's just a life review. And it's the first time in history we've been going through this. So it's even more frustrating for some people. All right. But this life review is giving you the opportunity to go, okay, Dawn told me I'm a fucking spiritual warrior and there is no option except for winning, healing, expanding into higher consciousness states. But humans, right? All humans. That's what I'm saying. I don't care what your sign is, what your chart is, what your anything is, what your karma. All humans on the collective like to live in victim and ignorance. And they pretend that they don't know any better. They don't know about their lives, their higher self, their soul, their angels, their spirit guides, and what's happening in higher consciousness and higher dimensions. So when it's very easy to find it in a simple astrology chart showing you your gifts and challenges. You can do many charts out there. You can do your numerology without my help. You can go Google it right now, put in your numbers and get the understanding. What did you come in here on this planet to overcome? A lot of you, it's relationships. A lot of you, it's money. A lot of you, it's success. A lot of you, it's a lot of things, but it's your thing. And how do you find that without your chart? What are you attracted to? But you push away. What am I? I'm interested, but I don't want to be seen there. No relationship, no illness, no pain that you are experiencing is an accident, you guys. Okay? But it is up to you to awaken to the fact that all you need to do to take back your power is own it. Just own it. If you're having financial challenges, own it. Okay? If you're having health challenges, own it. You may have brought that in from a past life. Who gives a shit? Own it and find the solution. You may have relationship challenges, own it. You have become so accustomed to so many, and think about the candy jar, right? Or the candy store. So many options, so many decisions, so many choices that we have all forgotten. The only thing that you need to know about living your best badass life is to fulfill your life purpose. That's it. But we get so deluded about so many things. Once you acknowledge that all your choices, one thing, if you just acknowledge your purpose, why you're here, all the other choices will be very clear whether they are beneficial for your highest good or not. But when you don't focus on that one purpose and truth, you start wondering which one of the candy store options are for you. And we forget how to get out of bed every day and just focus on. Most people come to me, you guys, and they ask for a tool. I just need the tool, Dawn. Show me the tool. What will work? They want a thing, right? What thing can I do to make me better? Instead of saying, hey, Dawn, I want to understand who I am. Why am I here? Who do I need to be and who do I need to stop being? And this super frustrates people, right? So, and I completely understand because I used to be one of those people myself. And so because of this, because we avoid understanding ourselves and where we can lift ourselves up ourselves, loneliness has become this huge epidemic. Why? Because all of those societal boxes or group containment systems are crumbling that I've talked to you about. Okay. So in turn, you crumble from thinking that the illusion of a community or a tribe that you used to be part of was right for you. And now you're finding solace and you're soothing in your loneliness, like, oh, I'm so lonely, but it's forcing you to look within, right? To see who you are. This is fucking amazing, you guys. So amazing, right? And to see your gifts, where you're talented, so you can naturally attract the same frequency of that talent and joy, and not the frequency of the group that you were forced into and that you may no longer fit into. Doesn't mean you don't visit it once in a while, but you may not fit into that group anymore. So it can be a lonely experience at this very moment, given that all the belief systems and all those boxes are crushing and crashing and burning and dismantling. Will it continue? No, but it's not going to be as fast as most of you who are programmed with that instant gratification of band-aids want it. Okay, so instead of solving what those boxes are doing, solve your own truth of understanding. Okay, of understanding who you are and where you're weak and where you're gifted and what you need to work on to be that every day. I deserve it. I deserve it now, the website, I deserve it, the theme, I deserve it, the brand, okay? It is very intentional why I made it, right? It is not, I deserve it if I'm good and then I'll get it. If I'm a good girl, then I'm gonna get it. It's not, I deserve it because I'm entitled to things that are not in alignment with my frequency, but you need to serve me anyway. So if I'm being a jerk and I want all these amazing things, will I align with that? No. What I deserve it is I am ready. I'm already worthy. Think of it from that level. I'm already now worthy of deserving all things I align my energy field with now. Okay, so think of it as I choose to serve, de-serve, to serve, if you break it down, okay, into the Latin meaning. So I choose to serve myself good things in all ways. Yet you've been programmed for so long that you can only have a successful career, only successful love, only successful food, health, diet, children, whatever. That's bullshit. You choose to serve yourself the highest good in all ways. Okay? And so the more triggered you are right now from world events, it's a big, huge clue. And I don't care if it's the world events outside, like, oh, it's bad dating right now. Oh, it's bad food. Oh, it's bad, government. Oh, it's bad gas. Oh, it's bad formula. Oh, it's bad jabs. Oh, it's bad people. Okay. Whatever triggers you, it's a clue of where you need internal healing. All right. And so you guys are warriors. You've all come to shine light. It's not an accident you are here at this time and space, not an accident at all. All right. And so you've all come to shine light with so bright, right, that it's easy to forget when you're shining and you're doing what you're supposed to do, that you must release some of your own inner darkness, right? And so you aren't shining for others so you can avoid yourself. And that's what we all do, right? You are doing so to show them how it's done. You're the lighthouse, so the boats know where to go. Okay. And so seeing your inner trauma and pain and insecurities is what frees you. It's what you need to stay lit. Yep, I'm telling you, I get it. That's the irritation right now. I don't want to look at that anymore. I've been looking at that forever. And the answer is you didn't look deep enough. Okay. Because this is the biggest scam on humans to date, and it is relationships. And I want you to remember that, because relationships are everything. Relationships reveal your reality. So your reality is a reflection of your relationships. So most people are like, I just don't feel lovable, or I'm not loving, or I'm not loved, whatever it is, but not feeling lovable. Basically is in any area of your life, you need to unlearn unhealthy love and relearn healthy love. Okay. This is what I'm talking about, the biggest scam on humans to date, because no one teaches healthy love. right? And so then it dwindles down to a little bit lower on the consciousness scale, that we're in this ongoing state of proving and worthiness, which is, I deserve it. I am worth it. You have to go there and pour it in, because proving and worthiness, think of it from that level. We spend our whole lives proving that we are worthy to live the life we know our soul is true for your soul. Okay. And it is so simple. If you just looked at your birth chart, your astrology chart, because it's a map, it's a fast map and it's personal to you. Or if you don't know that, look at your talents and your insecurities to understand what you chose in this blueprint for this lifetime. Because it's so weird to me that if we have a blueprint, and we all do, on what to work on to be a badass, right? Wouldn't you stop trying to prove to others that you're good enough and just go live that truth? Because it's total bullshit trying to prove it to others. And they just don't know any better on what you know yet, when they're not understanding what you're worth and they're not giving you what you deserve and what you've worked your ass off for. They're not your people. But we're constantly trying to, even on social media, you're all trying to prove on social media, and these people on social media trying to prove what they're good about and what their gifts are and who they are, and proving that they know the truth. What are we proving? You already know. Show up and be your most badass self. Okay. You are all perfect. You have talents that other people dream of. It could be right down to being an accountant or good with numbers, and someone needs you. That's why they are called gifts. You guys, we all have the ability to give and receive and then stay in surplus. I'm not telling you to only receive and not give anything back. Your gifts are to give. Well, you also need to learn to receive. So it's a constant surplus. Okay. And the new frequency Earth, when we're moving to 5D, and 5D is not a place, remember, it's just a way of being. New frequency Earth will require you to choose what your body, what your mind, what your spirit will look like that is void of scarcity and survival. Because if you watch, everybody right now is in this surviving mode of old beliefs that are shackling you to old bullshit. What if I do this? What if I am in the wrong relationship? What if I'm not in a relationship? What if I find the wrong one? What if I date and I don't like him? What if I don't like him? What if I eat this? What if I eat that? We're literally like in such survival mode of like, I believe this my whole life. What if I let it go? Will I live? Total bullshit. What will you do physically? What will you do mentally? And what will you do spiritually to experience a new reality in your life? So how do you reset old programming quick? If you don't know your chart and you haven't really thought about what your gifts and insecurities are, which you should do after tonight, how do you reset old programming, like old generations? Consciousness choice, right? Stop right now and stop blaming anyone or anything or any experience or any past trauma. Own it. Own your crap of where you avoid. Because owning the things you avoid, and I don't mean changing anything other than just looking at it and how it makes you feel, because eventually, if you keep putting light back into you, eventually all the manipulators and the haters and the destruction creators will no longer be able to live on this planet, because you all will be so bright, you will be able to see through any darkness. You just won't accept it anymore. And you're already there. You can see it happening. There are so many truth people on the planet going, no, I don't accept your lies and bullshit and destruction and manipulation. No, you're there too, but it has to be for you, not accepting things for you. Okay. And so it's not about becoming something out of the ordinary. Like I talked about earlier, I've done so much. I had so much. I'm creating so much. I'm so much, right? Or being some rare, find, and you're some guru, right? You don't have to carry the load anymore. Because right now, you guys, it's time to find your higher consciousness tribe so that you can have faith and be validated that you are consciously choosing to see through all the bullshit and all the stories that have been going down for millions of years. And if you can't tear yourself away from the nightly TV wizards or your digital social wizards, and again, you can even channels you like, but if they start putting you into this restriction mode, turn it off and step into the beautiful tattooed blueprint of your soul. I'm telling you guys tonight, your higher self, your soul and higher self knows where you're going and what you're becoming and who you came to be. So it's time for you to validate your lighthouse and become the spiritual warriors that you already know are inside of you. Do not negotiate no matter what the digital illusion is coming out of the Wizard of Oz TV that you watch. And I'm using the word TV, but just say digital thing you watch, okay? The most vital piece, you guys, of tonight is to understand not to compare yourself to others. That's why you're irritated. That's why it's not fast enough. That's why, because all those boxes have crumbled and there is no comparison anymore. Now it's just you being your most badass self. Because I have seen hundreds of charts, astrology charts, personal birth, your personal, right? Throughout my years of teaching and coaching. And I'm telling you guys, never once have I ever seen the same karmic contract blueprint tattooed on any soul. Not even with twins that have twins don't even have the same contract. It is so imperative right now that you do not compare yourself with what the TV wizards, your friendships or relationships, and any external labels are labeling you in any way that you feel you need to become what another's description of you is. Okay. Remember, I love you all, so that's all that matters, right? I cannot see anything inside of you except for your amazing, badass, brilliant, gifted self. Okay. And so when you guys bring to me your frustrations and your disappointments and your pain, it's just all I understand. And I've looked at myself the same way, is it's simply wizard programming from one or many of the boxes: religion, education, government, generational, that's crumbled. Okay. That's how it was. And that's it. And now it's on you to undo that programming or visually own it and see it, own it and burn it today. So here's a tip. I'm going to give you 4 tips of if you're irritated by old stuff appearing. Again, we'll talk about this in a minute. It's Mercury retrograde for I don't know what the date is, 4 more days. Just remember that you chose it. It's your karma. Okay. So whatever it is, whether it's your own karma, whether it's frustration, whether it's nervousness, irritation, whatever theme, okay, that's appearing, I want you to write that theme down tonight. Okay. So whether it's love, career, kids, spiritual, health, money, whatever topic. Okay. Number 1, whatever theme you see repeating in your life. Okay. Number 1, how often does it cycle or reappear in your life to irritate you? Is it monthly, once a year, weekly, daily, hourly? Okay. How often does the thing that is irritating you right now appear? Okay. Number 2, even if it's just the memory, a thought, when it does appear, how does it make you feel? So what does it make you feel when it appears? Like, do you feel like when it shows up, abandonment? Do you feel smothered? Do you feel fearful, unaccepted, alienated, shackled, unloved? When that thing comes up, what do you fear will happen if it shows and stays? Because usually it doesn't stay, but it's sitting there getting you to put something in you so you don't care about it anymore. Okay. So how often does it cycle? What does it make you feel when it does appear? Number 3, what would you do differently if you could have it your way? What would you do differently? And then number 4, I want you to sit with it. And even more deeply, if you know your moon and your north node, see where it's in correlation of what you need to own and make a radical change, because I'm guaranteeing you it's within one of those two areas. Might be Saturn, but we're not going to talk Saturn tonight. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Again, if you want me to repeat those, let me know. I'll go back to them. These are irritations that are popping up are your karma. They're in your chart. If you don't know your chart, just the things that bother you and irritate you and recycle, that's what's clearing. Okay. Mini planetary update. Here we go. So today, which is why I want to do this call. I know it's a holiday, and I hope a lot of you are getting caught up or whatever it is you need to do. But it's a new moon in Gemini today, and it's a really powerful new moon. And new moons, as you all know, are the best time to start new intentions, to set new intentions, new thoughts, ideas that is coming up from Gemini, because it's all about the thoughts and ideas in our head, in communication. It can rule siblings. So stuff with siblings will come up, verbal and or written expression. It's a call right now to become more conscious of our thinking. Okay. So Gemini has the tendency to kind of get scattered because it's the twins, it's multiple viewpoints and multiple fractals. And so Gemini has a tendency to get scattered and distracted. So it's easy for you to get distracted. Okay. So it's asking you in a new moon of communication and how you want to communicate to become focused on your creations. All right. So it's all about information, and expect an outpouring of information to appear. And when it does, what is it that you want to have clarity on of how you want to communicate about it or with it? Okay. So when it comes to new moons, it's a really good time to write down your intentions, then burn it. Burning it gives faith to source. It says, here, God, here, source consciousness, here, universe, I trust you. I'm going to write this down, and I trust I'm going to let it go, that it will come right back into my lap because I have faith. Okay. Number 2. So that's the new moon in Gemini in communication. And now we go into Mercury is still retrograde until Friday, the 3rd. Okay. And it's in Taurus, and it's in a very tight square also to Taurus, to the moon, or I'm sorry, to other planets in Taurus. Okay. So what I want you guys to understand is Mercury in retrograde is about miscommunication and misunderstandings and not thinking clearly. And it's forcing you to pause and look back. So Gemini is going, okay, we've paused, we're quiet, we're going into solitude, you're looking inside. What is irritating you? What are you not communicating? Or what are you communicating? Or what do you need to communicate better? What do we need to help you with? And if you won't do it, this is my whole call tonight. It's on you. You can own that too. Okay. So I want you to observe not just your subtle thoughts about life changes that are entering your mind right now, you guys, because this retrograde, as well as a Gemini new moon, is going to make your intuition is going to be heightened. Okay. At this new moon. So pay attention to any random thoughts that you have, because they're going to be clues for how to move forward. And if you get messages regarding your health, like changing your diet, or the connection that you have to your body, right? I went and did a liver detox. I was getting these messages like, it's the liver, here, the liver. I did a detox. It was awesome. And it made me feel so good. So my point is that I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go research this. And then it just popped up. Anybody want information on that? Let me know, by the way. It's important to look at it, if it's emotions, if it's the health, if it's your wealth, right? What messages are coming up for you? And then just go at least investigate, okay? It's also important not to ignore these. Make space to connect with your intuition, okay? Because the communication is Gemini wanting to communicate that clearly. Okay, the other thing that's going on with this new moon is Mars. Planet Mars is the planet of war, and it's in Aries, and it's also sitting on top of Jupiter that just moved a few days. It just moved a few days into, Jupiter moved into Aries also. Jupiter is a planet of expansion, and Aries rules, it's a fiery sign. So it rules fire and assertion and aggression, and anger. So it can expand fire. So fires, and even on the planet, and fiery energy or fiery conversations. So expect maybe explosive exchanges, even if it's within yourself. That's why I said earlier, being pissed off doesn't mean you're mad. It's saying, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done. Okay. You could get to a point of where you are simply just angry and pissed off at being pissed off all the time. Okay. It could be that simple and going, it's time to have fun and be happy. So it's urging you to make a radical change. Okay. So this explosive energy, you guys, I want you to appreciate it when you were the one, being asked to make this radical change in yourself. That's what this whole thing's about. Not about wondering when they out there will do it. It's always on you. And lastly, I want to talk about Uranus, which is also in Taurus. Back to where we were talking about. Uranus in Taurus is that Aquarian planet, right? And it's aspected to other degrees, but I want you to understand that where Uranus is sitting in the Aquarian phase is always about freedom and truth. And I brought this up at the beginning of the call. They're all jammed up, okay, right now. And they're jammed up in these signs of March, April, like February, March, and April, right? So it's this jam up of those kind of three corners of the months. So it's a rave party, right? So some Aquarius, there's the Taurus energy all going on in June, May, and April, okay? And if you have all this jam up of energy, it's kind of like a house or a rave party where the energy is just pounding, but you just feel it within you because it's so condensed, okay? And because Aquarius and Uranus energy is very intense and very powerful and all about freedom and truth, okay? So this whole rave party that's happening in the sky, without giving you guys details, because you don't need the details. You need to know technically what you need to work on or be prepared for. The whole rave party in the sky is about freedom, truth, and facing what we have been avoiding with fiery warrior spirit, period. Okay, and so if you can hold on to that and understand it's always about you facing you, okay? So tonight's tips real quick. Irritation is causing you to face what you haven't faced. Number 2, check your North Node and your moon signs to see where your purpose and your karma are urging you to own it. That's why you're here. No other reason, no other thing out in the world, no job, no friends, no relationships, no family. That's why you're here. Everything else is just extra cherries, whipped cream that are in your life. Okay. Number 3, make conscious choices. Stop the blame and own your crap. What don't you like in your life? And literally research the shit out of it. Okay. Everybody right here. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. Remember to do that all day long. It helps because the energy you're rewiring is energy that needs to get rewired. Okay. All right, guys. So, really quick, your challenge for the next week. I want to set you guys on a challenge. I want you to research your weak spots and your purpose. Again, weak spots would be your moon sign and your purpose would be your North Node. You can go right onto my website, ideserveitnow.com, go right to tools. And if you go and you see it's run a birth chart or something, click on it and you put your info in there and you can tell you, it'll give you a little indicator right there. It's off my site, but it's such a good site to use because it's so basic and it will give you your sign and what house it's in. And then research it. You don't have to stay there. You go to any site you want and start Googling the moon sign and your North and South nodes. Okay. I want you to research these areas because they give you confidence. All right. See, someone just commented, I've been doing intermittent fasting and I feel tons better. Yeah, I did this liver fast or liver detoxing, and anything detoxing feels so much better. I also cleaned up my closet. Okay. So again, remember I said Mercury retrograde, great time to detox. Best thing you could be doing right now is those kinds of things, is fasting, detoxing. Okay. The other thing is that someone the female, the gal that had commented earlier about being frustrated about not getting what she wants is typically because we're avoiding the thing that we're supposed to do to get what we want. Okay. And it seems frustrating. I get it. So thus, I'm going to open up Q&A to go ahead and comment if what's frustrating you or pissing you off. I'm happy to make it specific to you guys each. Let's see if there's comments coming in here. What questions do we have? Okay, let's see. All right, guys, so if you have questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat. Why are we, let's see, what does this say? Why are we afraid to see our gifts or simple solutions on our charts that would give us insight to healing? You guys, you're not afraid of healing, right? You're not even afraid of looking at it. It just seems too simple. Like, really, that my personality and everything about me is right there on a piece of paper? Yes. So it's not as much you're being afraid as much as it is that you're playing old past lifetimes of being rejected from a tribe. Okay, that's what's happening on the planet right now. We're all having to come out of the darkness and go, who am I? Oh, okay, well, maybe I don't fit where I used to fit. Okay, so it's like if you don't go to college and you start a business and you're super successful, and it's like, oh, but you're still not smart, because that was the old belief system that said if you're not smart if you didn't go to college, but you're super successful. Okay, it's not true. Okay, and so the same thing, it's not true if you research how to heal yourself organically, maybe, right? And then it's like, oh, well, did a doctor tell you it was okay to do that? So that's my point. It's not a matter of being afraid. It's a matter of rejection, which is why we don't go look at things that'll give us the answer right away. We reject that. We don't trust our higher self to guide you to higher consciousness choices, which basically ultimately will free you, right? So it's undoing old programs. That's the choice. That's the conscious choice you have to make. And seeing those old programs, I'll remind you guys from, I think it was a couple calls ago, I told you about your past life karma in your chart. Just go look at your houses 8 or 12, 8, and 4. If you want to know what you brought in, the drama, the trauma, the repetition from a past life, okay, you want to do that? Go look. You can see what you're still replaying in this life. You've done it for 50,000 lifetimes. You haven't changed much, aside from waking up and going, oh, I'm just here to bring light to this planet. That's the truth. That's my beingness. Okay. All right. Next one came in. I did a long road trip. And on the road trip, I was trying to squeeze out, all the crap. That's awesome. It was fun. I did my life through music. I started with the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, 2010. It's funny how many memories passed through me. Honestly, feeling relief and restart from it. That it was a rebirth and growth experience. That is phenomenal. So those of you who are loving music, what a cool way to help trigger old emotions and memories that you can't remember. You're like, oh, I remember that person. All this music will bring back things you need to purge. That's brilliant, Jen. Oh my gosh, I love it. So cool. That's exactly what's going on for all of us. Okay. That's awesome. All right. Anyone else? Go ahead and comment. I have another one. I know I bring it up, and if you're not familiar with charts and stuff like that, you can go on and buy your own hotspot chart, and it will tell you the 4 main hotspots that we struggle with, and that we're here to basically override and become. That's how you become successful, is because you have to be those, right? So one person said, why our moon and our north node again? Like, why are we focused on that? Okay. So think of your moon this way. Whatever your moon sign is in your birth chart, when you were born, you imprinted, you came down through the solar system, and your soul came in and it ran through all the galaxy into the solar system, and it imprinted with the tattoo of basically the geographical energy of the longitude, latitude, energetic lines, the matrix, shall I say, tattooed onto your soul. Okay. And so wherever the moon was sitting on that day, that's your moon sign, and it carries your emotions. It's where you're going to be high sometimes, and you're going to be incredibly depressed low. So if you have a moon in Aries and the moon in the money house, or any sign in the money house, money's going to be a big deal to you. And you're never going to feel like you have enough until you figure out how to balance it. Okay. So your moon will show you where you cave and where you need to be more in ownership of your needs to keep your emotions in surplus and not in poverty mode. Again, emotional poverty. The north node is our purpose, which there's a north and south. It's like a needle, like a north, like a compass. And north and south, south node is the past lives that we come in with, those gifts. And you fall into that south node of gifts because it's easier to do that and avoid your purpose, which is the north node, which is why I bring them up. Because if you're living your purpose, guys, I don't really always enjoy being online. It's not always something I enjoyed, not online, just always having to be on teaching and astrology. Why? Because in the past lives, I didn't do it the same way. I didn't have to be on stage, and I might have been on stage, but in a different format. So this time around, I have to be on stage and I have to find a way to be okay with it and not go into solitude or play small. And so it can be that simple as going, oh, so I just need to show up for them. This is my light. This is shining my lighthouse for all of you. If one of you showed up today on your Mercury retrograde on this Memorial Day holiday, that would have been all was enough for me. Okay, that's my point to all of you. Whatever that North Node purpose is, one a day. That's all I ask. That's all Source wants from you. That's all the universe wants from you. Live that truth. Fulfill that karmic North Node purpose. That's it. That's why you're here. No other reason. Okay, so that is an example of mine. My North Node is in Aquarius, up in the 9th house, and South Node is the 3rd house of communication. But it's also in Leo, right? So it's also in about having fun and being lighthearted. So sometimes I forget that and I go, I'm pure and I have to balance just like you do. And so that moon is also in the offspring house and romance and fun. And I forget to have fun and I get too serious trying to balance everybody else. And I get low and I have to come back and balance me. So I know that about me. I need you guys to open up and go, okay, I need to know about my moon and my North Node. And it will open up so many doors because that's all I have to be every day. You don't have to make it so difficult. You don't have to overwhelm yourself. It's not a lot to have to focus on. Okay. And so that's what's so valuable when you start opening the door to why are you here? Why am I here? Does that make sense? Okay, and any other comments or questions on any of, I'm happy to answer if you tell me, if you know your chart, anybody who's on the call, and you know your moon or your North Node signs or houses, I'm happy to explain to you what they mean. But the point I wanted to make about tonight is really kind of getting you guys to understand that we're not ignorant because we have more information we've ever had in our lifetimes. You just got to go find it. And we are not victims. You chose the birth chart, you chose the moon, you chose the North Node, you chose what you came here to be. Now be it, and be it with your biggest badass self. And I promise you will not look back. You will not question your life. You will not give a shit what is burning down around you, because good stuff will come right back up from that. Okay. Okay, friends. Well, I'm not getting any more comments. Hopefully that was super clarity and that got you to understand what's going on right now. I am not getting any more input, which is totally fine. We'll cut out a couple minutes early tonight, and I want you to know I love you. And thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for joining the Truth Tribe. I love you. Brightest blessings, and I will see you next week. Take care.